In a span of 20 days, I had the opportunity to compete in the Knowledge Matters virtual business simulation personal finance. In just 20 days, my perspective of my financial future, of adult life, has changed. I gained years of experience in mere days. How could that be possible? I'm Aadarsh Gupta, and I would like to explain. First of all, what is VBS? It's a digital simulation and somewhat of a game where you can lead a character through personal finances. You try to increase their net worth as much as possible through all the different parts of financial life that you would go through in the real world. VBS provides a place to not just learn about finance, but to immerse yourself in it and gain crucial experience. But what does that have to do with me? Well, I wouldn't have been changed by VBS if it wasn't for one thing: fear. Fear is defined by a feeling or belief of imminent danger, of a threat. When we think of threats, we may think of various things: the fear of being alone, of the dark, etc. But my fear, that one lingering feeling of dread in the back burners of my mind, was about finance. The simple concept of knowing how to handle my money. But I'm not literally afraid of money. I'm not, in a sense, afraid of a dollar bill. It doesn't scare me. So what am I afraid of? Well, over those 20 days, I had the opportunity to figure this out. And what VBS taught me was fear is also caused by a lack of understanding. Fearing the unknown because it's different and unrecognizable, because it's new and complex. And I like this definition because it highlights something very important about how we learn in the world today. To illustrate this, allow me to present my conundrum. Take myself, for example. Younger than almost everybody in my grade, I've had a late start on many, many important things, and this causes me to sometimes be unprepared for what life has in store for me. And when this happens, there are some implications regarding personal finance, whether it's opening bank accounts, finding the most beneficial career, paying for college and student loans, taxes, mortgages, credit, jobs. There's so much to it because personal finance is just a complex topic. And because of this complexity, because of the sheer size of the facets and the processes of personal finance, learning about it has never been easy for me. In fact, it's been the opposite. I seem to end up in this gray space of anxiety, of stress, and of confusion whenever I try to learn about finance. And all of this combines to equal fear. And I fear it for how different and how difficult it seems and how important finance is. It doesn't help that as I go on in life, these things seem more and more relevant to my own future. The worst part is that for most of our history, to learn how to do finance, you needed to go out into the real world and make mistakes. You needed to take risk. And taking risk, making mistakes, although that is very necessary, can change my future for the worse if something does go wrong. And that is something which at times is irreversible. The less I know, the more risks I will take because the more mistakes I'll make. So when you take in all of this, it's not too hard to see why why I'm so fearful of learning and applying finance. 20 days ago, I wouldn't even be able to imagine how stressful walking into adult life would be in the state I'm in. And at the same time, I see my classmates start their financial journeys early. But what if I didn't have to be unprepared and afraid of learning finances? What if there was a way to avoid all of the risk and learn differently? Well, there is. It's VBS. Like I said before, VBS gave me a way to practice and find out what works financially and what doesn't work without the risk of real life. Going back and thinking about all the things which confuse me, VBS incorporated all of that and more into its system, from paying bills, taxes, filling my resume, utilizing checking and savings accounts, scheduling my day, maintaining my health, using credit and debit, maintaining money flow. and so much more. VBS takes so much of this knowledge that I need to be financially independent, and it provides a way to practice it, to apply it, and to understand it. It breaks historical norms, letting students gain experience without having to take the risk of real world mistakes. And all of this without fear. And of all things, I, a 16-year-old, learned how to fill out a tax return form when my parents don't even know how. And because of Knowledge Matters and VBS, that's just another thing that I do not fear anymore. To conclude, it is no secret that the knowledge that I and my generation is provided is immense. Through vast internet libraries of any and practically all content, so much information is available for any and all questions. But Knowledge Matters offers something that was not there before, a place to put knowledge into practice. So back to fear. The feeling of imminent danger, of a threat. With all of what I have said in mind, is fear really so bad? Is it something that should cause you all that anxiety and stress? Or is it possibly a tool? What I've learned on this short journey of mine is that fear is an asset. It makes a path to learn. By fearing something, you are able to change. You can learn and blossom from it. But to do that, you need something like VBS. You need the tools that Knowledge Matters provides to guide you through that fear and bring you to a new understanding of yourself and of the world. So I hope that you understand, even with my fear of Knowledge Matters, personal finance, I can still learn because Knowledge Matters showed me how. They gave me the means to do so. They provided their namesake to me because they showed that knowledge does matter. And someone as unprepared as I usually am was able to become a financially literate and future ready person in only 20 days. Thank you.